turned 18, I decided there were two things I needed to do. The first was I realized that I could register to vote. But before I registered to vote, I decided it was my patriotic duty to go and figure out how to register for Selective Service. So in the United States, there's no draft, but there is a registration for a draft in case they ever decided to do a draft. So I went down to the post office, and I was like, okay, I need to register for Selective Service, and I need to figure out how to register to vote. And the post office was like, well, this is the form for the voter registration. We don't have the form for the Selective Service. You have to fill that out online. So I went home, and I sat down, and I filled out the Selective Service. And then I opened up the browser, found it, filled it out, and I pulled out the voter registration that you can also do online, but I didn't know that. I liked physical stuff back then. I still do. And so I filled it out, and then it's like half an hour and the post office is going to close. Or really, not the post office, the courthouse. So we live in the same town as the courthouse, so I got on my bike and I rode down to the courthouse. And I get down to the courthouse, and I find the bicycle rack, and I lock up my bike, and I'm looking at this courthouse, and there's the grand basalt structure that's in Halloween Town, and then to the side, there's this 50s era, I think it's 50s, 70s era. Is that when they built the church office buildings in Salt Lake? It's that same architectural style. 70s era, brown, concrete, vertical columns. Anyways, so I checked. So I'm looking at these two entrances, and I'm like, which one do I go to? And someone had just walked out of the newer portion, and I kind of walked up, and I'm like, which door do I go in? And they're like, I think the juvenile court is closed. You should come back a different day. And I'm like, but I'm not here for the juvenile court. I'm looking to turn in my voter registration. I'm like, oh, congratulations. Yeah, I think you just go in. I think they might still be open. You just go in there and ask. And I go in, and as I'm walking through the door, someone's like, I think the juvenile court is closed. I'm like, cool, I'm just want to turn in my voter registration. I'm like, oh, congratulations. Yeah, just go down the hall, turn right. And so I go down the hall, and someone's standing there, and they're like, the juvenile court is closed. I'm like, I want to turn in my voter registration. And they're like, that way, congratulations, go. They're still open for a few more minutes. And I get to the counter, I'm laying it on the desk, I walk up to the counter, I have my thing out, I'm gonna lay it on the desk, and they're like, I'm sorry, the juvenile court is closed, you'll have to come back tomorrow. And I'm like, I just want to turn in my voter registration. And they're like, congratulations, yeah, I'll take that and sign this. And I don't think they had me sign anything, but it's just really funny. I turned around and walked out. I went home, and I'm like, Mom, the juvenile court is closed.